You might have heard recently that if you're not a US citizen, that you need to register, but you might have also thought like register for what and for why? And maybe even do you still need to register? Some things we're going to cover in this video is how to determine if you are registered. Number 2, who must register. Number 3, who may submit the form G325R. Number 4, how to register. And number 5, what to expect after registering. Okay, so now the time of this recording, this is early Friday morning, April 11th, 2025. So I want to share with you the basis, the foundation that gives rise, the authority of this alien registration requirement. Okay, so showing you on the screen here is a USCIS website, .gov, and this is in furtherance of the executive order signed by President Trump that he called it protecting the American people against invasion. Of course, I think that's ridiculous. There is no invasion, and that was signed on January 20, 2025, his first day in office. Okay, so essentially, this is already authorized by law since 1940. There is a Federal Register rule, but the rule here, the interim final rule, is for the form, because when this first came out a couple months ago, we are all thinking like, okay, you want people to register, but how? And so that's what this rule is for. It's really about the form itself, and so that is effective today. And so you might have heard about if there was a lawsuit, because typically something, regardless of which president, usually, of course, with President Trump, there is some kind of lawsuit. So let me share my screen again. It did get filed, I believe, March 31st, but unfortunately, late Thursday, Judge Trevor Neal McFadden, ABC News reported that McFadden ruled in favor of the White House. So Trump administration, ABC says, simply enforcing an already existing requirement for everyone in the country who is not an American citizen to register with the government. So let's go further in here. Let's look at this. And so you might be wondering, okay, well, who actually does need to register? All right. And so that's this section right here. Any phrasing, of course, about aliens, I like to refer to aliens as immigrants. So all immigrants 14 years of age or older who are not registered and fingerprinted, if required, when applying for a visa to enter the United States and who remain in the United States for 30 days or longer. They must apply before the expiration of those 30 days. Of course, there was no way to register, which is very surprising, right? If they had this law in place, how do they get people registered? It's because they didn't enforce it. So here's Trump now trying to enforce it. All right. Well, actually, we go a step further before is how to determine if you are already registered. Okay. So if you're already registered, that's because you're already a resident, a lawful permanent resident. You were either paroled into the United States under 212D5, essentially as the parole. And then if you're admitted into U.S. as a non-immigrant and issued an I-94 or I-94W, okay, even if the period of admission had expired. And if you're present in the U.S. who were issued an immigrant or non-immigrant visa before the last day of arrival. Also, if you have been placed into removal proceedings, you don't have to register because you're registered already. And then if you have a work permit, you don't have to register. You don't have to fill out this form. And then if you actually already applied for any of these applications, even if the application was denied, you don't have to register. And if you issued a border crossing card, which is for people from Mexico, Mexican nationals, you would not have to register with this form. Okay, so who would not be registered? And those are people who entered America without inspection or admission, aka you were not caught at the border. Also says Canadian visitors who enter the U.S. at land ports of entry and not issued evidence of registration. So that could be a lot of Canadians. All right, and then the third one, aliens who are immigrants who submitted one or more benefit requests to USCIS, not listed here. Okay. Now you might be wondering, well, John, what if I don't register? What's going to happen? Okay. Well, first, let me tell you at least the fines, the monetary fines. All right, so this is section uh, INA section 266 here of the federal law that here's the penalties that in section A, subsection A, willful failure to register any alien required to apply for registration and to be fingerprinted in the United States who willfully fails or refuses to make such application or to be fingerprinted, basically complete this two-step process, um, shall be guilty of a misdemeanor and shall, upon conviction, be fined not to exceed 1,000 or be imprisoned not more than 6 months or both. Now, look, I don't know about you, but I don't want to go to jail. But at the same time, I don't want to be removed from the United States. So it's going to be a difficult choice for you. I cannot tell you what to do. That could be considered legal advice. But what I want to do here at this Green Card Guys channel is I want to share the information so that you are informed. You're more educated on making the right decision for yourself. Okay. So let me share this again. Going actually to, although this has not been enforced for many years, one of the common things that are related to applications when people say, "Oh, hey attorney, I moved. Um, hey, can you help me update my address?" Well, absolutely, we want to do that. Okay, let me show you why. Because actually, when you don't, there's a penalty. So it's related to the same law, INA Section 266 about the penalties. This is how you change your. This is the AR11 is the form we call it, but you can do it. You can do it online. But here's the physical form with a PDF. But if you look at the instructions here, actually, and scroll down, this also at the bottom refers to a penalty. Failure to report a change of address is punishable by fine or imprisonment and or removal from the United States. And this has to be done within 10 days of your change. So that's why for our clients, we let people know from time to time, hey, if you're going to move, you need to let us know first before any of your friends and family, because we want to help you change your address, update it. And essentially because they want to have a record of where you are. And for in terms of your benefit, of course, if you applied for an application for immigration benefit, I mean, you need to update your address because that's how they're going to send you the notice or whether decision or maybe, for example, like a request for evidence or notice of intent to deny. So it's important that you do update your address anyway. All right. So other information here that you should know is okay. Well, John, if you're asking me, well, how do you even register? Okay. So if you are deciding to register, this is the page you want to go to. This can be done online. They caught up with the 21st century here. There's a G325R. File online right here. For you to file online, eventually it's going to take you to a page where you do need to create your My USCIS account here. You also need to know this that after you register, there's something else you need to do. And you thought, God damn, John, I thought it was over. Okay, so every registered alien 18 years of age and over must at all times carry and have in their personal possession any certificate of alien registration or the receipt card. And non-compliance of that is a misdemeanor punishable of a fine of up to $5,000 or imprisonment for not more than 30 days or both. Holy smokes, it doesn't end. So it's really important that if you are going to register, clearly you might as well carry proof that you did register. So again, going back to earlier in this video, if you didn't actually submit this specific form that I shared a second ago, G through 25R, because you filed an application, then provide a copy of that notice of receipt, anything related to an application. And of course, if you come across this ICE agent, whatnot, then you're going to have to pull up my video and share them the links. Okay. If for some reason they don't think that that particular document qualifies, okay, we're going to drop in the description box the links to this Federal Register rule and, of course, the actual USAS page where you can register if you decide to do that. If you're still wondering if you should register or not, you need to talk to an immigration attorney. We're happy to help you, consult with you, have a strategy session with you to even determine if you're eligible to apply for immigration benefit. Because if you are eligible to apply for residency or a non-immigrant visa, which typically that would be if you're outside the United States, or if you're currently on a non-immigrant visa now and need to change to a different one. Okay, it is in your benefit to talk to a lawyer to do this. Don't just assume, oh, you need to just go straight to this registration form online. You could be eligible to apply for something. Many people who contact our office have been eligible for so many years, but they just didn't consider, oh, yeah, maybe I should get my act together and file for something. Life happens, I get it, but now is the time to take action. Okay. So our information is down below. This is what it looks like right here under the description of this video. Okay. Thanks so much. If you have any questions, you know. So if you decide to register, it's really possibly a two-step process. Number one, register online using the G325R. The link is down below. And then step number two is that USCIS will determine if you need to take biometrics. So they would send you a notice. And then that would complete the registration process. So keep that in mind because step number one of registering online is not sufficient by itself. Okay. So keep an eye out for that biometrics according to the law that they referenced, of course.